pen situation's a bit crazy. I want to see if I have a new 0.3. I'm sure I have somewhere. 0.30. 4 1. Allez. Ja, bye. Oh, hello to the one viewer. What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Yeah. You wanna? I haven't shown this for quite some time, so. Ooh. How you doing, Mark? So, oh shit, we're losing all our shit here. I have the worst setup, man, because I've got my work PC. You generally get the gist of what's going on. Doing great, cool drawing. Cheers, brother. I can't. Are you? Sorry, man. Like, I'm really bad with people's names and um people that I've met or people that are subscribed to me that I don't know, have never talked to. So I don't know how you know me, man. Just type in the chat, bro. I have the worst memory ever, man, and I'm really bad with names, like really bad. Maybe you can blame that on old age. Where you from, man? Because I have a Mark that watches my YouTube videos quite a lot, and he's from England. So I don't know if it's you, Mark. Apologies if I get mistaken, man. Or it might be someone from Twitter, because I've just started to use Twitter, or should I say X, or what it's fucking called. So I'm trying to get some new subscribers and new people into my community. So I don't know if you're from Twitter or not, man, but I ran across you on Facebook, joined a couple of chats there. I'm in Texas. Good old Texas, man. Okay, Mark. Thanks for watching, bro. What time is it in Texas, man? Because like the best time that I stream, I always try and catch my American friends, because obviously I'm in Japan. Um, I think my morning is your evening or afternoon. 8 p.m. Okay, man. So how's life in Texas, man? Give me a background. I can't. You might be like a scale modeler. I don't know. I don't know how we met, but I have a lot of friends on Facebook from different kind of like I would say hobbies and genres of stuff. So you know what Facebook's like. You know, you add people or people add you, and I think I have like maybe 3,000 people, and I don't honestly I don't even speak to half. You know what I mean? So it's hard to keep up with everybody. You do modeling and some art. Oh, awesome, man. What kind of art do you do, bro? And what scale model genre? Yeah, FB is a mixed bag. It most certainly is, man. As you know, I'm TMD, aka Tokyo Model Detective. What kind of scale models do you do, bro? So as you may have seen, if you're a follower of me on my YouTube channel, I've made a bit of a comeback. Selling wise, I did post in my group and I did make some information about me selling some of my old stash off. But I've just recently discovered um, train modeling. So my throat's a bit fucked at the moment. Um, I made a video about an old model shop, train model shop specifically, in the next city of where I live, which is only like 10 minutes away. And lo and behold, the actual sister shop is actually in my town, which was the first shop that I ever went to or bought scale modeling equipment like airbrush paints and stuff, which is kind of crazy. So I didn't know that this other shop actually was like the second shop, and it kind of inspired me now to um do a YouTube series on like these old modeling shops that are still around in Japan that are like fucking really old, but shops that like hardcore loyal fans go to, right? Because in Japan it's really obviously, like, you know, like Americans are like really envious of like people that live in Japan because of like all the modeling equipment and kits that we get out here. Um, Sadly, Mark, like the big corporations, the big chains um, in Japan have basically decimated the market because obviously their prices are a lot cheaper. There's more stock. So it's quite sad to see like these really old retro Japanese modeling shops like closed down. Some are still around. They have like their hardcore base from like people that were shopping there probably back in the 70s, 80s. Let me get back into your chat. Loves me some spaceships and roboto. Got a resin kit off the Prometheus. Whoa, oh bro, man. Dude, I'm a big Aliens fan, man. I'm a big Aliens fan. Have you got like the Sadako by any chance? Because I know like there's a lot of people doing 3D prints of the Sadako and other stuff from the Aliens franchise. Um, I'm talking like 1 meter stuff. I do digital art mostly these days, but used to do large acrylic paintings, concept art for NASA. No way, bro. Murals for business, bro. You're gonna have to DM me or contact me on FB. I'd like to see your work, man. And if you got like an Instagram or anything like that, just send me your details, man. I do a variety of stuff. As you can see, I've got my airbrushes up there. I do, well, not as much now because I'm real busy with life, but like I do like acrylic, airbrushing, illustration work, pen and ink, pencil. I do a little bit of digital art, but not so much. And yeah, my main background, man, is I'm an illustrator by trade, but I do scale modeling and whatnot. And I do I'm more into my photography at the moment. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Mark. I've got the old Sulaco shit, but in the box, bro. You need to send me pictures of that, man. You need to send me pictures of that. I'd be quite keen to see that. I think Max Factory made the what's it called? The power lifter. Max Factory made a model kit. I think was it like last year or the year before. I think it might be 2 years ago. I can't remember. They released um, the powerlifter model kit. Which is cool. Love that you're hanging out with. Yeah, bro. Like this is a thing, Mark. Right. So to give you a breakdown, I mean, it's good to chat to you because you're an artist yourself. Like since I was when I was at university studying illustration, um, there, there was a few people doing a lot of digital stuff, um, which I respect and which I do a little bit myself. It is fun, but I'm like old school, man. I'm all about pencil, pen, watercolor, acrylics, paints. I'm proper OG, like yourself, probably. Um, and I know I go to a lot of exhibitions in Japan. I've seen a lot of like master stuff, like William Hogarth and this old school stuff. Pen and I'm a big pen and inker, bro. Basically, I'm a big pen and ink. Um, so uh, for me, seeing digital art is beautiful aesthetically, right? I love it. But knowing what work really goes into like pencil work or whatever that's let's say non-digital, I appreciate a lot more. Horses for courses, everybody's into different stuff, right? So but for me, I'm from like the old avant-garde, man. I'm an OG, and I just think some things done by hand with conventional methods, just for me personally, just looks way better because I just have more respect for the artist and I have more appreciation of, and I know what work goes involved. Like you can't make any mistakes when you paint in acrylic. You can't make errors, right? But with digital art, you can just simply erase on Illustrator, Clip Studio, Photoshop, whatever. You know what I'm saying, man. Pen and ink is wonderful. Makes me think of wood prints. Yeah, bro. Yeah, etchings. Yeah, exactly, man. How I got, well, how I really got into this, man, was like when I was at university, my paper, my end of year dissertation or thesis, you want to call it, was on political cartoonists of, I think it was like, was it 1800, 1900? I can't remember, up to the modern day. So, like in England, you've got an artist called Ralph Steadman. I forgot who the American guy is. We have a magazine in England. I don't know if it's still around called Private Eye. It's basically political, what they're called, satirists or political cartoonists. And I don't know who the American guy is. There's a famous an American guy that does work, but generally in England, it's Ralph Steadman. He's like the biggest political satirist cartoonist. So I did my thesis or paper on that. Yeah, Ron Coob. Yeah, that's probably him, man. Yeah. So my thesis was based on old etchings and old, you know, the history of like pen and ink etching and all that stuff. So that's what really got me into this style of art, which I've kept, which I've developed my own style kind of thing, right? Which for a lot of artists out there that do art, um, it's probably the hardest thing to do is to actually have um, your own quote unquote style. And the problem now with modern day art is that it's very difficult for artists to have their quote own style because now it's just so saturated with art, right? Because now we've got like social media and people are posting stuff up. Most of the digital stuff like character animation tends to look all the fucking same. So we've come to this point in creativity. I think that we've just hit this massive like huge wall where there's nothing really fucking new anymore. With what boundaries that can we push? And I just think we just hit that wall, man. And fair play. I mean, now people are trying to draw and do weird shit. You know what I mean? He did that before. Oh, really? Exactly, Mark. Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of Giga's work. I've got a few Giga books. Giga, man. Fuck. Um, it's a sad shame that Fox treated Giga like shit. I'm not happy with that. As you know, maybe it sounds like you're an Alien hardcore fan, but like for me, without Giga, it's not Aliens, man. If Giga was still alive now, can you imagine how fucking cool the fucking movies would be? It would be insane, man. So when Giga died, it was just like it was just. I think Aliens died with Giga. It died. It died. You know, there's no way that you can replicate his work. The guy was a legend, man. And hopefully, I was thinking about doing this anyway for a long time. I'm gonna go through a fantasy artist from the UK called Patrick Woodruff, who's dead, who's one of my favourite British fantasy artists. As you know, England has a lot of good fantasy artists like Brian Frood, obviously Patrick Woodruff. Brian Frood did the concept art for Labyrinth. He's a fantasy artist. I've got his book called Fairies, which is a famous fucking book, man. It's so cool. Giga and Hollywood was a difficult mix, most certainly, man. Yeah. I mean, I actually didn't I actually didn't know what the history was with Fox and Giga till I watched a few documentaries on YouTube. And then I found out what Fox did to him. And then I was like, fuck, man, that's ridiculous. Like how they treated him, bro, is just really bad. Really bad. Um and then it kind of left like a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I think I think I think if they make a new Aliens movie, you know Brian Frood's work, man, cool. Pressed Fairies, Frood's book, yeah, yeah. I'll have to dig it. Is it down there? Oh, wait a minute, Mark. Is that the book you're talking about? Because there is that Monty Python scene in there, man. I know what you're talking about. Where is it? Is it the big? It's like that huge German fish, right? Shit. I haven't got my headphones in, sorry. Wait a second. Is it in here? Oh no, it's not. I know what image you're talking about. It's actually in one of my airbrushing books of all books, actually. It's in a book. I'll have to check that out, man. No, no, no. My library is quite extensive, man. um, Going back to Patrick Woodruff's work, it's a long story. I'll try and condense this down as much as possible. But a lot of people don't know about Patrick Woodruff, and he did some work for Rolling Stones. I can't remember some big famous band. I can't remember which band specifically. So my friend from England, who was an illustrator, he was living in Japan. He introduced me to Patrick's work, and for fucking years, I couldn't remember the guy's name, Patrick's name. And then one day I stumbled across his work on the internet and I was like, oh, that's that guy. So anyway, I decided to find his books, which I got like maybe I think I got like how many books did I find? I got like 4 or 5 of his books. I didn't honestly think that I would find them in Japan on the auction websites, but I did, and I got them at a very reasonable price because they're out of print now. You can't buy them, and they're all in good condition. And I was just shocked because some Japanese people have obviously had these in their book collections and whatnot, and yeah, I was like, wow. So I'm going to be doing a whole YouTube book review on Patrick's work. Um, but they're from like the 70s, 80s, like like the hardcore British illustrators from that time frame. I have one of his books. Oh, right, cool, man. No way, awesome, man. I've got what's his name? Oh God, I have to go to my library. Wait a minute, Mark. Where is it? Um, ah, where is it? It must be here. Uh, where is it? What's his name? Oh shit, I can't remember, but it's Boris. What's his name? Boris Villaggio. Villaggio, the guy that did Conan, Barbarian stuff. Boris. I can't. That's his name. If I can remember, Boris. Oh, it's there. What am I talking about? It's looking at me right now, bro. I have so many fucking books. It's ridiculous. This book, Boris. Yeah, Vallejo, which is obviously Vallejo is a paint company. You must know this guy, bro. Pardon me. It's a bit dry in because of the aircon. Yeah, man. I'm glad that I've met you, Mark. Man, it's the first. I think it's the first time we've chatted, man. Really, it's good to meet another illustrator and a person that appreciates the old school stuff. Indeed, sits next to my Frazzetti books. Cool, man. Yes, Boris Vallejo. Yeah, bro, man. That kind of stuff from that time frame is so fucking cool, man. And obviously, I mean, I have a lot of Japanese artists' books as well, and I've got like an array of stuff, man. An array of stuff. Um, Book collecting is another disease that I have, and I'm sure you have that same disease, Mark. Book collecting now. The weird thing is though, like books now are getting so expensive, right? So for any of you bookworms or book collectors out there, you need to snap stuff up because stuff is slowly uh, dissipating away. It's hard to find good prices on books now because everything's getting so expensive. Like those old stuff. Like this is what gets me about books because I'm in Japan. I don't really know if the Japanese people or these sellers knew like the value of these Patrick Woodruff books because like you said, even in the UK they're probably quite hard to get hold of. There's probably not many on eBay or wherever. Because when I found my books, I was just shocked. I nearly had a heart attack, man, to be fair. I have a signed. Oh, bro, you're into Sarayama, bro. Me and you need to talk, man, bro. I have one of his books called Torture. I'm a big fan of Sorayama's work. Obviously, you know, no, Kim Jong Gong, he died. You need to check out an artist called Tarada. Tarada. Again, if you're watching my YouTube, Mark, I'm actually going to be doing a lot of book reviews, illustrator, Japanese illustrator, and book reviews. You need to check out another guy called Rocking Jellybean. He's an artist that's around now. He does some fucking mad shit. He's into his like fucking like 70s horror stuff. How did you get a Surayama book, man? That's crazy, man. So my son has his he has a Triceratops Sorayama t-shirt. So they had like a whole Sorayama collaboration with a company called Uniqlo in Japan. Uniqlo is like a retail fashion shop, and they do like really cool t-shirts. And now and again, Sorayama does like a collaboration. And you probably know the dinosaur stuff, right? Unfortunately, I couldn't get a t-shirt in my fucking size. Oh, you got it on. Oh, you know Jelly Bean, man. Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, he's got an exhibition on now called Killer Condom. If you check his Instagram, bro, Rocking Jelly Bean, it's cool as fuck, man. That's awesome, man. I can't believe you were into the same kind of stuff, man. I'm not gonna start doing these fish scales on here yet because I need to buy a new pen because I want that to be like jet black. How much did you pay for that, if you don't mind me asking, Mark? So my coworker on my workplace, he's Japanese. He's got a lot of special limited. He's a big Rocking Jelly Bean fan, by the way, and he's got loads of like limited prints. Like, to put it this way, my friend, he's one of those guys that'll queue up for hours to get his work. But like Rocking Jelly Bean's work is so fucking expensive. um, and to get one of his limited prints, yeah, you have to like fucking wait in line and shit like that. But my friend's got some. He's met him. He's got some signed prints and whatnot. But my friend at work's really into him, man. And most likely that I've actually been to the Rocking Jelly Bean shop, which is in Harajuku, Tokyo. If you're ever in Japan, man, I'll take you there, man. The shop is all jelly bean stuff, and yeah, it's just really amazing. But again, it's super expensive. You need to be loaded with cash to go there. I think it was about, wow, that's a good price. That's like Ichiman Nissan Ichiman, yeah, framed. Wish it was a print, but it's a poster. Still nice. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I know Sorayama's been doing some exhibition work outside of Japan, but his fucking studio is really weird because I think he lives in a mansion, but his studio space is really cool, man. I love his studio space. Who's pinging me now? Who's fucking mailing me? Oh, it's Mark. Okay. Oh shit, my keyboard's fallen. 2 seconds. I was. Thanks, Mark. If you want to chill out, man, you want to hang out. It's probably like getting late in America, 8, I mean, at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. If you got things to do, man, I'm not holding you here. But yeah, it's definitely. See, this is what I'm saying, man. It's so interesting that there's people that on my Facebook and YouTube that I don't really talk to because I haven't been doing live YouTube sessions for quite some time now, and it's been a pleasure meeting you, Mark, man. Really is. It's a breath of fresh air to meet another illustrator artist that we're on the same page, so to speak. Yeah, I could talk to you for hours, man, about art. Talk to you for hours. Sorry, how old are you, Mark? If you don't mind me asking. Be honest. Because I actually had a guy yesterday that was watching me on Facebook, and I couldn't believe it. He's an American guy, and yeah, he told me he was 63, and I'm like, holy shit, man! I thought this guy was in his 40s, and I've known him for quite a while on social. So I was like, wow, I didn't know you were that old. And he was telling me shit like 63, bro. Holy crap, bro. You don't know the guy that I was chatting to last night? Most definitely. Who was I chatting to last night on FB Live? Can't remember. 63 is a new 40s. Yeah, man. You're the same age as the other guy. Who was I talking to last night on Facebook? I can't remember. It wasn't you, was it? Surely not. Bro, man. It's crazy. Because we were yeah, not you. Ah, okay. This is insane because my friend, we were um we were talking about like he witnessed he remembered when JFK got shot, and he remembered like the first moon landing and stuff like that, which is incredible, man. Like, and we were talking about like nostalgia stuff from back then. Um, so I presume you were born. Your time frame was like, or your era was like the 70s, right? We were reminiscing and stuff like that, and we were just talking about how life was a lot easier back then. As much as I love the internet, I kind of wish we didn't have it anymore. I think we wouldn't be communicating right now without it, obviously, but I'm saying like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of miss going to libraries, getting books, finding information that way. It's sad that like who goes to libraries anymore? How are the government funding libraries? I mean, libraries will always be here, obviously, because they have other stuff that you can do at a library. But I'm saying, do people rent books still, man? I know my wife does for kids' books and stuff like that. But it's crazy, man. Will libraries be around in the next 10 years? My art school had no computers, bro. Oh, you were 8 when you saw the moon landing. Wow, what an age to see that, man. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's interesting because my university where I studied illustration, which is in the north of England, a place called Hull. Our university was one of the only one of a few universities, may I add, that had an original printing press. My old college used to have one, and recently, because I really like etching, right? So anyway, to cut a long story short, a co-worker of mine, his wife does etching. studio classes in the south of Japan, and we're hoping to travel down there to do some etching because I love etching. Oh, did you get, bro? Of course, I got to use the press, right? So, like our press that we had at my university was huge. Like I'm talking huge. So when we were studying etching, I was just blown away by the etching methods and how etching was made. And then obviously, like with Patrick Woodruff, he does etching, and I just love etching. So I like, I know linear graph stuff is like Escher stuff, and print, but yeah, bro. For people out there that are watching this video, if you've never done etching in your life, you're missing out, man. Etching is an incredible thing, and it's incredible skill, and it's incredible fun. Um, I know Woodruff did a piece. It's of this guy in like medieval times, this knight on a horse, and in the background, it's got like these weird like medieval like Gothic buildings in the back. I think it's one of his best pieces that he's done, and he did that on etching, and then like I think he used some like inks on top of it because it's kind of like it's got a bluish tint to it. So I think he overlaid paint on top. It's so beautiful, man. It's just amazing. Again, a lot of young people don't know what etching is. It's only old farts like me and Mark that really understand what etching is. But etching is so cool. And then I've got one of we're going to have a private chat, Mark, one day. I've actually got a book, and I'll send you details after I finish this feed because I have to start work in about 30 minutes. Patrick Woodruff did a book, um, which is actually about his whole fucking studio. Sorry for swearing, Mark. And it's an amazing book because it's not really his artwork. It's about his whole methodology, his materials, his studio. And he talks about how he got like this old press. Now he lived in a place called Falmouth, which is down in Cornwall, where many famous watercolor artists and artists in general resided because of the landscape. It's a beautiful place to paint, like the beach, and it's got big. That's where Stonehenge is. That's where most of like the fantasy stuff comes from. Cornwall, Devon, and he lived, I think, in Falmouth. Anyway, he got this old printing press which weighed like crazy. I don't know, just crazy. And he lived like at top of this apartment, and he talks about how he had to carry this shit up the stairs. And like, bro, like these houses are really old. Like he was worried about this printing press falling. It wasn't a huge press, but it was enough to do like like this size. This is like A0, I think A0. You're gonna put color on your. I just keep my stuff black and white, Mark. I do have actually. I don't know if you seen my studio, bro. I don't know because this is like the first time we've kind of met, man. Wait a minute. Let me take. Have I got? I should have power for take that off. 2 bars. I need to get a new webcam anyway at one point, but to give you a little. Sorry, the monitor is taking space up here. But this is basically. I don't know if you've seen my YouTube video, but the lighting's bad. But this is my studio. So I have like the full Windsor and Newton inks, which I got very, very cheap. And I'm hoping one day to actually use them. Um, you can't really, sorry about the light, but yeah, this is my whole studio here. Give me a second. Can I? Yeah. It's my art studio, man. You might have seen it previously on my videos, but yeah. Anyway, I want to use those inks on a pen and ink work. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna use airbrush either. To like, basically, like I like to use watercolor mainly. I like inks. For airbrushing illustration work, I use acrylics and a bit of gouache. Thanks, man. And if you know anything about airbrushes as well, um, I like to use very light backgrounds as a background with airbrush to give a soft finish, and then on top build up stuff, you know. But yeah, I'll have to check out your work after I've done the feed, Mark. It's a bit of a coincidence. Ooh. It's a bit of a coincidence that we've met because, like I said, you've probably been on my Facebook for quite some time, and probably we've never had a chat about art and whatnot. Yeah, the inks are like 100% opacity, man. But the good thing with the inks, though, you can like water it down, so to speak, if you want different strengths. But I'll tell you something now, Mark, and I know you will agree with me. The price of artist materials now is insane. I mean, it was always Winsor and Newton watercolors have always been expensive. Not the studio range. I'm talking about the legit range. And this is gonna blow your mind because, like I said, I used to be a toy seller. I have over here, which I've never used yet. I have the Series 7. Where's the black? I have the Series 7 Winsor and Newton sable brushes, which, oh shit, I don't know where the lid's gone for that. It's somewhere in there, but yeah, man, I have yet to use. So this winter time, we shall be cracking these out. A lot of modelers use fucking Series 7 brushes, and I don't really understand it because acrylics are the worst things to use, I think, for sables. I'm not saying you can't use them. I'm just saying I don't personally want to use expensive sable brushes for acrylics because acrylics, man, it's just horrible stuff. Yeah, I actually got them very cheap because like the model shop or the supplies that I go to, I get discount. I get trade rates. But yeah, as soon as I saw them, I had to pick those up. Um, but yeah, what artist equipment now is ridiculous. Like acrylic paint is so expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive, but yeah, it's just crazy, man. I think in America, don't you have a shop called Barnes and Noble? Is that the main shop where you buy your art supplies? I'm looking. Love to drink it in. I get them at Texas Art Supply. Oh, okay. Japan is a very dangerous country because out here our art shops are very good, like the best. I'll have to send you pictures, Mark. I've got some pictures on my Facebook. I'll DM you it, but man, it's crazy. Especially like for pens and stuff like that. It's insane. I think every time I go to like an art shop or like a shop that sells a lot of artist equipment, uh, my wallet starts twitching, man. Um, yeah, it's a very dangerous place. And if you're not an artist, you probably won't get it. What you probably won't get what me and Mark are trying to convey out. Yeah, art shops out here, bro, just really bad. I mean, man, because art is still a big thing in Japan. Ever run airbrush paint through technical pens? No, I haven't, man. Yeah. Oh, what they called? I have those inks, bro. Those pre-made inks. I know what you're talking about. What they're called? Oh, they're in. I have some in a box somewhere. Are they in here? Just wait a minute. Oh, I can't find them, but I think the name is it called? They're called Dr. Martins or something. They're inks, but like you can run them. Is it Martins? I'm sure it's Dr. Martins, man. I'm sure it is. Let me check. Not the shoes. I can't remember the name. Yeah, Dr. PH Martins, bro. Which are basically like you can. Oh, they're not that expensive, man. 5,000 yen. That's $50. There's a Barnes and Noble near me too. Radiographs, got to keep them real clean. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm very good at with airbrushes. Like this, let me get the Ferrari out. I haven't used this yet. I daren't use it because it's so fucking beautiful. It's like buying a fucking Ferrari or some shit. I got the high end, or one of the high end lines in the Iwata airbrush, the CMs. Like I've people that have problems with airbrushes are weird, man. Like my airbrush is blocked; it doesn't work. Well, why doesn't it work? Oh, because I don't fucking clean it. I'm like, there are a lot of people out there that just abuse their equipment because they never fucking fully clean out their air guns, and it happens a lot. And if you're using acrylic paint, which is the worst, of course, man, you look after your tools, the tools look after you, right? I do have one small issue with one of my eye waters, but that's not because of me damaging stuff. It needs a new internal ring. It's losing pressure, which I can get a replacement part, but that's not me damaging it. That's just deterioration over time. But these CMs, because it's the highest. Sorry, the lighting is terrible. These are the highest line in their airbrush range. They come in a fucking metal box, bro. It's beautiful, man. Comes in a metal box. The ranges below this, like the HPs, the Eclipses and stuff like that, all come in plastic boxes. So when you buy this, it is just like buying a Ferrari, man. Do you know what I mean? Comes in a metal container. This is what I found cool. Every airbrush comes with the test sheet for QC, quality control. It's even marked with a number, I think. 122 on there. So whoever tested this, that's the test sheet, the original test sheet, which is amazing. Obviously, it comes with instructions. This is the CMB. I have not used this yet. This is just amazing. I know you Americans like Badger, and I know I've actually spoken to that guy at Badger, man. I forgot what's his name. I forgot his name. And I haven't spoken to him for a long while because Badger's based out in Chicago, right? I forgot his name now. Don't get me wrong. I like Badger. It's all right, but I just prefer Japanese brushes, man. I've got a Patriot Badger here. Um, Badger brushes are all right, but they just don't have like the final quality finish that I like from a Japanese air gun, you know. And you've got Harder and Steinbach from Germany. That's the Infinity. That's a beautiful gun, but I don't really use this one so much because it's a pain in the ass to clean. Real pain in the ass to clean. I don't like that one too much. Ah, you're a Pash guy, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The VLs. Is it the VL? Call it the VL. Bro, that's how I started. My dad, when I was young, gave me my first airbrush. It was a single action Pash. Still have it somewhere. Is it in here? Ah, it's in here. Here it is, Mark. That's how I started airbrushing, man. Was this very brush? Got two. Pash F. It was actually this one, but it kind of broke because it was old. My dad got it like back in the fucking 50s, whatever. But yeah, still have it. Family heirloom. And to be honest, I love single action airbrushes. I think they're amazing for a beginner and for some things like you want to do big flushes of stuff. Yeah, amazing. Nothing wrong with a single action airbrush. People get drawn into dual action, right? The only thing that I didn't like about these is the gravity feed because sometimes that shit would fall out and fucking destroy my artwork because they had like the cup. The cup used to be, I actually, my dad gave me his fucking aerograph. If you know what aerographs are, I have an aerograph as well. That's one aerograph. Aerograph. I think aerograph were from UK, Britain, and I have an older aerograph. Where did I put that old one? It's somewhere behind this stand are all my airbrushes, and I have a very old vintage aerograph. Yeah, me too, bro. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing, man. I don't know what it is now with modelers, but like for illustration work, I get the sense of like having dual. For model work, I don't know why people go crazy on dual actions because I think dual actions for that is not needed. You don't need it, man. All you need to do on a single one is just control the airflow, whatever. It's very easy to use, very easy to clean. It's very quick. Once you start using dual action stuff on model kits and stuff, yeah, I just think it's something that's this is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but I think it's over the top. I think it's overrated to have dual action on using like on model kits. Just my own thing. But when I do modeling, I have multiple lines. So I actually have three compressors here. uh, two by Iwata and one by Mr. Hobby. But I have multiple airlines, so I can have like 4 airbrushes on, so I can just have 4 guns ready to go. So I use one specifically just for glossing, for top coating, one for doing base and whatever. They're all separated, but I just have the luxury of having multiple lines. Yeah, of course, man. Like I said, I'm not trying to like say don't buy a dual action airbrush um, for model kits. By all means, do, because I use them as well. But I'm saying like people that don't have a lot of money don't feel pressured in that. Oh, you have to have like a dual action. It's not needed, really. I don't think. Um, and some people get really like arrogant about airbrush work, but these are modelers, man. The real work, actual airbrushes that do freestyle stuff, that shit is mind blowing. It's not model kits, it's free illustration. Those guys, the guys that even in Florida who do those t-shirts all day, those guys are amazing. Like I suck at that. That is skill, man. To do lettering, it's amazing, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, like this one here, Mark. Oop, this is one of my beast ones. If you got big work, like if you got big kits and stuff like that, if you want a big flow, big range, TR2s. These TR2s, when I was in a lot of the modeling groups, which I'm not in anymore because I don't like Facebook modeling groups anymore. Um, a lot of people that had problems with what's the word? When your hand sees it, what's it called? Beginning with A, I forgot. I forgot. Arthritis, that's the one. A lot of like the old guys, like like the old veterans and stuff that were doing military stuff like that. A lot of the older guys like to use these because of the handle. So for all you old folks out there, yeah, the trigger action ones are pretty cool. Ooh la la. I might have to start using this in about 10 years. Back to Giga. Okay, man, I've got like maybe 5-10 minutes, Mark, and then I'm gonna head out. We'll leave this amazing feed on Mark's last topic, Giga. Let's do it, man. Still waiting for Mark to chat. Hello to the second viewer. I can't believe why I only have these two like people. Like this is such an interesting topic to talk about. I suppose everyone's busy though. Ah, okay, yeah, yeah. Freehand airbrush artists are aliens. They are. I've seen stuff on YouTube. I've seen like I follow a few guys that do live sessions and stuff. That freehand stuff is absolutely mind blowing, especially like the guys that do all the custom artwork on Harley Davidson's guitar, um, guitars, hoods, helmets. Those guys are just phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. The guys that do all that Harley Davidson artwork stuff is mind blowing. I watched a guy do like a whole Batman Joker thing on this guy's tank. Just mind blowing, man. Just mind blowing. Watching it like week by week to the final thing when he top glossed it all and stuff like that. And then he compounded it, polished it all out, bro. It's just stunning. just craftsmanship. It's like the people that do the stuff on like the old Chevys and stuff like that, cars as well. Yeah, bro, but like all that's gonna be gone, man. No, I wouldn't say gone, but like people that do sign writing. Sign writing's gone, right? Who does fucking sign writing anymore? Everybody wants cheap, crappy fucking acrylic shit and vinyl stickers for their shop signs. You don't, where do you see? My dad used to be a sign writer, man, back in the day. He gave me a lot of his old lining brushes that he used. My dad did work on trains. He did proper when we lived in Africa. He did loads of stuff. Sign writers, man, dying breed, Mark, dying breed. But I'm pretty sure, and I have seen videos on Instagram. There are still people that do that line work with oils and stuff like. There are people that still do it, but yeah, man, you know what we're talking about. I see, like me and Mark are definitely on the same page here with a lot of things. I mean, I'm 43, Mark's 63. He's 20 years older than me, so I'm at like that time period of like the appreciation of all this like old method stuff. So I think maybe my generation is kind of like the cutoff point of old school techniques. People just want. Yeah, I can't really comment on it because it's not fair me comparing stuff from now and then because it's all different now. You know, to pay a real sign writer money to do a sign would cost a lot of money. Now you can just go to a graphics company. They'll print up some vinyl stickers or whatever, put it on perspex or whatever, and it's like more than half the cost. Exactly, man. Yeah, I mean, like my kids I have to inspire and educate my kids on techniques and stuff that I grew up with, and it's about people, educating the youth and showing them things. Who knows? There could be a resurgence. There could be really good fucking money in being a sign writer, doing traditional stuff. Or like if there's like a business, like a coffee shop. Imagine like a coffee shop, right? Or a craft bar, beer bar, and they want like an old retro, sign done. You know, so I'm sure there's still a market for it somewhere. I mean, I did see a guy on Instagram. I think he was from Europe, and he was doing some line work. Just amazing shit, man. And people that do stuff on cars as well, like the custom car paint, doing line work. I think it was like a Mexican thing that this guy was doing. But it's so crazy because they use obviously um, a long brush, right? And how they do it, man, it's just one fucking movement, bro. But it's like perfection. It's crazy to watch. If you don't understand it, man. Right, guys. Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you on my live feed because generally I don't get a lot of people watching me. I don't really do these things, but it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today, Mark. And I think there's another viewer watching me as well. I hope we can continue this conversation further. I hope to be doing more live sessions in the morning. For my YouTube, I will be going through all my art books. Mark, please, I'll try and tag you. Got lots of books to talk about. And I wish you all a very nice evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, thank you, Mark, and thank you all the TMD crew. And have an amazing day, people. One love. Take care, Darren. Bye bye. Bye bye.